Hey, what's up everyone out there? Welcome back to the channel. CHILLSCISSORS is here and we're back at it again with another episode for our GameCube series as we collect every Black Label North American game for the set, and we're also collecting any collectibles, toys, oddities along the way. We have tons of those to share with you today, and make sure if you want to join this journey that we're on as we complete this set this year, that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay tuned for further uploads. And if you like the video, make sure and hit that like button so hard it turns blue. Help boost us up the YouTube algorithm to reach out to fellow game enthusiasts and GameCube lovers just like you. This is the GameCube Oasis. Let's go. All right, we have a lot to go over here, and quick life update and announcement. So it's been a while since I've made an upload. You know, I started to have some health related issues that needed to be addressed, and then work is just ramping back up as we transition right back into summer in my line of business. But beyond that, I've lost 37 pounds. I got up to what would be considerably be unhealthy weight. So I had to make some lifestyle changes and pump the brakes and take care of me so that I can be a better, content creator, better husband, and be able to enjoy life better. It's very important to be self-aware of what's going on. And, I just got to that point where it was affecting every aspect of my life outside of the community. So I made a conscious decision to pivot and make some lifestyle changes. And we've, in the past 11 weeks, lost 37 pounds. It's crazy. But what I'm doing is intermittent fasting mixed with counting my macros, no weight loss surgery or pins or needles or anything like that, but we're just doing it all naturally, and I've had success with it thus far. But that's what I've been up to on kind of the behind the scenes. We got a lot to cover here, so let's go ahead and deep dive into it. So Gaming Exchange, let's go ahead and touch on Gaming Exchange. Every time I go in there, I'm looking for deals, I'm looking for oddities and things that I don't have in my personal collection. And this particular item was a misprinted or mispriced / labeled item. They labeled it as, let's see if you can get that to focus in here. I don't know if you can read that, but they had this product labeled as a used PC monitor for a relatively decent price. And what it actually was a Interact Nintendo GameCube LCD monitor. I've been looking for one of these for quite a while. This one is the mobile version, so it's designed in such a way that you could actually bring this into your car, hook it up to the cigarette lighter port. Everything works on it. Everything works great. It's in great condition, but I couldn't pass it up as I've been looking for one of these for a very, very long time. Every time I came across them, they were priced way over what I would be willing to pull the trigger on. Not only that, then they were also in very poor condition, but this one is in fantastic shape. Of course, rocking that indigo color scheme, matching the console, but I don't know, I showed this to my wife and she was blown away. I thought it was the coolest thing back in the day. I never was in a position to be able to have one, but I just thought it was such a cool thing because we had to share a TV back in the day with my parents. So I thought as a kid, seeing these things, that they would be the coolest thing ever to build a fort, bring my GameCube in there, with a little lunch pail hand case, and bring it into my fort and play my favorite games, playing Wind Waker, Smash Bros. And all these things. But such a cool thing to add on there. And these speakers on them are really, really loud. So honestly, what I've been using it for is I'll put in my favorite game that has some awesome banger audio and just listen to it while I'm rearranging and doing what, normal game room things around the house. But yeah, just the speaker alone was is so loud and so clear. I love it. So happy to add that to the collection. Let's keep this oddity on the GameCube side of thing kind of rolling here. A lot of people may have never seen one of these before, but this is a promotional item used to promote not only Resident Evil 4, that was new and up and coming at the time of this, but also to promote the movie franchise. And this is a Resident Evil 4 soundtrack, but this one isn't to soundtrack for Resident Evil 4. It's actually, as we flip this around, a soundtrack to the movie. And then if we open up the CD's in here. So this was a way that they could promote Resident Evil 4. It shows available January 11th. And then on the back, this is the soundtrack to the movies of Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse. So 100% killer music, 0% killer zombies. The soundtrack to Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse, featuring new and rare tracks from Slipknot, The Perfect Circle, Deftones, The Used, Marilyn Manson, just Killswitch Engage, just an awesome collaboration. So I had to get it because of the Resident Evil 4 and the GameCube and Capcom love that they have it on there. So it's an awesome oddity to add to the collection, and one that you don't really see. I mean, this was a promotional item used to promote, again, Resident Evil franchise. And then this next one, we actually got on a random eBay auction, and I got it for next to nothing, but I've always wanted to have one. But this is a sealed Nintendo GameCube memory card. So this one is the 251 block black memory card, and it comes with, of course, it's sealed, so you got the manual and everything in there. I'd really like to get the big Kahona memory card sealed, but just really cool to have something, a piece from that time that is sealed that you can just look back. And I personally remember seeing these up on the shelf, so happy to have that in the collection. A couple more oddities, and then we'll get into this fat stack of banger titles. And you want to stay tuned for these, because one of the games that's included is the most rare and most expensive title on the GameCube library, and we got it in the collection. You probably can guess what it is from one of our previous videos, but stay tuned. You're going to want to see this. So this next one is another oddity. This is a preview disc for Resident Evil 4. This one actually is pretty awesome, as it has preview demos to Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Resident Evil Code Veronica X, and then of course Resident Evil 4, and some cool Resident Evil RE content. But this is a not for resale Resident Evil 4 preview disc. So some more Resident Evil love added into the collection. One of my most beloved franchises of all time, for sure. Let's make some room for these new games coming through. Now the preview disc. This is the preview disc for 5 playable demos. We got likes of Splinter Cell, Sonic XD, Beautiful Joe, Billy Hatcher. Wonderful game, by the way. Looking over the back, you can kind of see some cool contents. You see, some headliners like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Rebel Strike, Star Wars, 2 downloadable games, Dr. Mario and WarioWare Inc., and then Soul Calibur bonus playable demo for Soul Calibur. So this one is really cool to just pop in and explore, and this was the way we got our content back in the day, before the likes of the modern age came in. This is how we learned about new and upcoming games. And then we got X-Play and all those awesome retro game coverage series on television. It's still crazy to think that there were TV shows dedicated to spreading the word about up-and-coming video games. That was successful. X-Play, shout out to X-Play. Just really, really awesome series here. Among some of the sport titles in the Nintendo GameCube library, Disney came out with a fleet of sports titles. So we're going to kind of shotgun through some of these. So we got Disney Sports Soccer. Me and my wife really enjoy soccer games. Disney is just a really cool adaptation to it. And we both love, as far as retro Disney stuff goes, Donald Duck, Goofy, Mickey Mouse, and stuff like that. So I honestly think that they did a wonderful job on these Disney Sports Series games. But we got Disney Sports Soccer. We got Disney Sports Skateboarding. This one was really cool. If you know, back in the day, playing these games were a treat because I was heavily into skateboarding. Still am as an adult man child, but Disney Sports Skateboarding, a really cool one to bring in there. Shout out to Goofy Movie 2, right? If you know, where Maximilian went and competed in the X Games. But we got Disney Sports Football. Most of these games hold a very heavy price, and so far this one is probably number 2 out of the 4 of the Disney Sports lineup. But this one's super rare, really expensive, and pretty hard to come by. But this one right here is the most rare and the most elusive, expensive title out of the entire lineup. We have, of course, Disney Sports Basketball. This game is incredibly expensive, going for over $1,000 at times. We got this complete in box from an individual that gave us such an incredible deal on it. I couldn't pass it up. I came across this, if you've been following along, loose, and they wanted like $200 for it. And it's just climbed up from there. And that was loose, no manual, no case, no anything. I got this for less than that, complete, for a heck of a deal. I honestly, going along through the journey, worried about getting this title because I just couldn't bring myself to spending that much money on one particular sports title just to say that I completed the set. So now that we have this one off the roster and on to our shelf, this is just something that's going to get us that much closer to that complete collection. We got Bad Boy Miami Takedown, sporting Will Smith over the front. I've honestly never played this one, so let me know in the comments if you've played this one before. But I don't know, the Bad Boy movies were great back in the day, so I don't know. I've always said it. I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million times more. The Nintendo GameCube era is the king whenever it comes to licensed titles. Now you see a licensed title and you can't get away from it as quickly as possible. But back in the day, they actually put dedicated teams to spend actual time to make these games fun, and a lot of them were successes along the way. But next up, we got Outlaw Golf. I don't know much about it, to be honest, but it looks like it's more of a mature-esque style golf game. I mean, that I could see that to be fun, so I have to check that one in. It's only rated T for teen, mature, sexual themes, mild violence, strong language, great golf, bad attitude. So Outlaw Golf, that might be some fun. We got Rainbow Six 3. Nothing too crazy there. I remember this one was a lot of fun with a split screen back in the day, playing with my friends. Not too many first-person shooters were split screen, and this one was one that did a decent enough job that we got some enjoyment out of it. And I do apologize, I still have yet to go through and kind of clean some of these titles up. This next one is a banger title, one that's again I just scored on a random eBay auction. This one goes for a premium, but this is Spirits and Spells for the Nintendo GameCube. This particular one is a only 4 title. We have so many exclusives still holding strong on the GameCube library. That's what, from my perspective, makes a GameCube still worth collecting for and playing today, because there's still so many games out there that are still, they're just gems, and still today is the only and best way to play a lot of these titles. But Spirits and Spells, this one actually is, I played it for a little bit and had quite a bit of enjoyment out of it. Definitely one that I would like to revisit, primarily around, you know, the fall and Halloween season. We got a couple games here left. We got Batman Vengeance. Love the Batman series. I did play this one as a kid way back in the day. This one along with some of the Spider-Man games, and this one actually was quite enjoyable. But yeah, got to add it to the collection. Batman Vengeance. And reverting back to the licensed title games that are available on this library, we got to talk about the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, one of my very first Nintendo GameCube games of all time. And this game rocks. It still does today. I really wish that they would come out with an HD, less likely, or a collection would be cool, as they did release several of them. But this one is a RPG style level-based game where you can play as your favorite characters within the Lord of the Rings franchise and level up, learn new abilities, master your new combos. I always played as Legolas because I liked his ranged attacks. You could charge and shoot, and we knock out these enemies before they even became a threat or got anywhere near you. But this is a banger title on the licensed lineups. If you haven't played it, you'll want to have a relaxed, experience. Just hop on there, enjoy yourself. Then the Lord of the Rings is that for you for sure. But yeah, we got one last item, and if you can spot it, we're going to do some Blues Clues here. It's in the background. Can you see anything different that's been added? Yep, you already know. Let's get this bad boy pulled on over here. Let's check it out. All right, check this bad boy out here. What we have for you is the Mario Party bonus set. So back in the day, as a bonus pack-in, they actually put a lot of value into this. So we got a awesome cover set here, but this particular bonus came with Nintendo GameCube, a controller, plus Mario Party 7, a microphone, and an additional Indigo controller. What an incredible bonus. I would be interested to know what this one retailed for back in the day, because that is really cool. As you can see, it is much bigger than your standard GameCube box size. And then over the back here, then we got some tearing, nothing too crazy, but we got includes what it includes, and then a fun-filled cruise around the world. As we all know, Mario Party 7 was the cruise-themed element to it, but not in 100% shape, but it is in acceptable condition. I got it for around $30. I could not pass it up. This is one that I had to add to the collection, but it's in decent enough shape to display and enjoy, but I had to get it and add it to the collection. So I'm just speechless that I came across this and got it for what I did. But that's it. We got 10 more games added back to the GameCube collection. The most expensive title, among others, we got the GameCube bonus set. A lot of oddities from the preview disc, sealed memory card. We got the Interact LCD monitor added to the collection as well. So don't miss future episodes and uploads. Make sure, again, if you are interested in joining the journey to get this set complete, hit that notification bell, subscribe, stay tuned for further uploads. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I'll catch you all in the next video, and I'll see you out there. Good hunting to you. Peace.